Here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up. That's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Give me my little boy. Hello. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? Hey? Good boy.
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, dang. So it's all good. Right, here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up. That's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Give me my little boy. Hello. How you doing? How you doing?
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, dang. So it's all good. Right, here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up. That's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all. Howdy doody, folks. Welcome on in. How you all doing? Welcome to the show. Midweek hump day. And we're going to do a little bit of work on that guy there. Another couple of coats of oil need to go on there. We're going to just level some of that surface and see how far off we are. What else have we got? We've got the base done yesterday. I've got some foam. So I've cut up some foam little strips to sit under the pickups to help spring them up. And don't know if I'll swap that out today. But the other thing we're going to start is, or go back to, is the acoustic build, because Tom reminded me yesterday he'd like to see an acoustic continue, and we have got one on the way and have had one for some time. Dana, thank you for the resub. Lots of months there, 30 months. Congrats on that. Thank you for your ongoing support. It's appreciated. Terry, how are you? Good to see you in here as well. Who else have we got? Willie's here. And that's the gang at the moment coming in, trickling in. Everybody's in it. Manny may turn off the channel. Which channel are we talking about? Well, I could turn off the channel. Sometimes I feel like it. Your badge upgraded. Wow, 12K, Dana. That's the one. You've got the big 12K. You're a gritty little thing. I'm going to grab this guy. We're going to have a good look at it. Let me put some cloth down. We're going to give that. Actually, yeah, we're going to do that on the bench and then apply. Just putting some cloth down to make sure there's nothing, no grit that might start embellishing that surface. That's getting there almost to a point where it's nearly finished. It's actually now a nice purple color instead of blue. It's completely purple. That amber has done the trick. So it's no longer blue, but that doesn't matter. Dana will be happy though. Look at that. Still got that bluey tinge through it, but it's very purpley as well. So it sort of changes color, but we're almost there. You can see it's still a little bit wavy, not quite that level. We're going to give that a nice scuff back, and then we're going to apply another coat of oil on that guy. But what I'm going to do first is the back. This side needs a lot more work, so we're going to just give this a nice thorough thrashing with some 1200 and just level out some of those spots and see how we go. Soak that a little bit. Got some solution here, just some water with a little bit of detergent. Very purple. It is. It's gone very purpley. Soak that up. I'm just going to work it two ways. I'm going to go this way and level some of that out. And I'm going to go across as well. Just taking a little bit, just scuffing that up, leveling some of it out. It's only 1200, so it's not going to do too much damage. It's very, very, you see that lathers up. It's very flat, very gentle, very supple. I just need to get some of the high spots flatter. And we'll give that a little swirl as well, just to cut in a little bit more. I'm not pressing very hard at all. I'm just letting the weight of my hand just do the work. I'm not pushing into that. All right, just going to wipe that down. You can see how uneven it still is. I might have to take a little bit more off. It's not too bad. It's getting there. You can see what they call pitting. If you look close enough there, you can see all that little roughness around there, like orange peel. It's just pitted. So what it means is there's still some low spots in there, and we need to get more coats on there and fill that in. Probably needs another 3 on the back, to be honest, because I have been going quite thin. I haven't been too harsh on it. The other thing I could do is cut that way back with a 400, but I don't want to go through the back. So I'm going to just apply another coat. I might just work those edges a little bit more because I've got some flatter spots in the middle. I might need to work the edges a bit, especially down this end here. Feels really smooth to touch, but of course, visually, you can see the pitting. That's a lot better though. That's almost gone. Just needs to be worked. You can see that's a lot smoother now. Less pitting there. Just a few here and there. You can see some shiny spots. Little shiny spots that indicate lower depressions. There's a little knot mark there, so that's not going to be too much of a problem. I'm not really fussed about that. It's not too bad. A little bit more on this side. How are you guys been? Have you all been well? That's just the stick, yes, indeed. Willie, it's just a stick. That's not the neck. It's a hanging stick or a handle for spraying. Okay, I want to retire, but I'm okay. Look, I think we all want to retire. I'm semi-retired at the moment, not through my choice. I just don't have any work. But that's okay. We'll get there. I'm not really fussed. I've got other things. I'm learning a lot of other things, using my time wisely to develop my brain and develop other skills and talents, because I need to build up my talent database of skills and talents. We're pretty good there. There's still a little bit of pitting. Needs another couple of coats at least. I'd say 2 more coats, but it's starting to get there. You can see there's little shiny spots here and there. See those shiny spots? They're just little low depressions. Yeah, it has a very, very pitted grain at the back there. You can see there's little striations everywhere right through it. That's okay. We're filling those in as we go. Still about 3 coats shy on the back. The sides are almost there. The front is just about perfect. Just about, probably about 90% done. But we need to do that as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand the front as well while the back dries. Get some of that colour out there. And don't forget the edges as well, guys and girls. We need to do those as well. So don't sweat it too much. Just going to go gently. Gently at first. Get some of that, any high spots off there. scuff it up. It gives it, the difference is you get those scratches and it makes the poly stick. So we need a mechanical bond between polyurethane layers as opposed to a chemical bond that you get with lacquer, which just burns into itself, into the previous layer. This doesn't burn through. This has to mechanically mesh itself, knit to the other layer. So that's why we scratch it up. But at the same time, we're leveling some of that, some of those high spots. Now the front's got about 8 coats, 9 coats nearly. We've probably got 1 or 2 to go max. Then we cure it, and in about a week we'll buff it up. When I say buff, I'll probably just do it by hand. I don't use a buffer. I just burn through this stuff when I buff because I'm terrible at it. And I'll do the edges and the sides as well separately by hand. Yeah. Tom's in the house. What's going on, Tommy? And Mark's in the house too. Be Bumstead, what's going on? There's a lot of pitting on the edges there. Some in there. Some there. I need to keep going. Just a little bit more and I'll give it another coat. I'll do the edges first. $1,200, Tom. I'm just using 1,200 because I wanted to go very, very gently because I don't want to work through too many layers. I'm only leveling a little bit. I'm not really polishing at the moment. I'm just taking down some of those dimples and I'm going to add another coat or 2 to just fill those in before we cure and then get a nice flat finish on there. The colours come off there. I'm going to have to recolor that. I see it's a lot. It was a lot thinner there, and I've gone through a little bit, so you've got to be very careful. It's easier done. We just apply a bit more colour. We can paint over the top of this. I've done it before. Touched up a couple of spots. Okay, still not too bad, but not 100%. But it's good enough to dry off. Let that dry off. And get some more colour on there. Just on that little spot, I'm going to touch that up. Let that dry. I'll do the edges, which are coming along nicely. The edges are looking pretty good. Okay, nice thick coat there. Just trying to fix those up. Get those nice and evened out. So Didymus, what's going on? It does shine through. The character is beautiful on this piece. Be very careful around the corners. We don't want to burn right through. I mean, this is only 1200. It shouldn't really burn through anything, but there might be some light layers somewhere. So I've just got to be a bit gentle, that's all. Just scuff that up and get another coat on there. Just a little bit of tap water, a little bit of detergent, mild detergent, just to give it a little bit of lubrication. Just slide over that surface. It's pretty hard getting a glassy finish on hand rubbed finishes, but this one's as good as it's going to get. In terms of the finish, I think we're going to get a really good result on par with a sprayed surface. I mean, it may not be perfect, but it's going to be pretty close, and I think it's good enough for a guitar that's probably going to be used a fair bit. So I'm not too worried about the finish. It's going to look pretty, and that's the main thing. It will look good. We're not hanging it up in a museum. We're going to use it, and there's no major flaws, so it's perfectly flawed, as they say, just like me. Just like me. Your dad was a wise man. Yeah, she's learning, Tom. She's got an acoustic and she's learning at school. So she has picked it up. She's learnt Smoke on the Water and a couple of other things. I think she's only 10. 10 next month, actually. So she's not quite 10. But she's little. She's a little girl and physically small hands. But she's got very nimble fingers, very spidery fingers. So I think guitar's going to suit her. She started with was it piano? I don't know what she started. No, she started with drums or something. She gave that away. The guitar she's really taken to. She loves the acoustic. So yes, she's familiar with the guitar. She can tune it and she can play a couple of chords. She's learning chords and she can play a couple of little rhythms, simple 3-note rhythms like Smoke on the Water and little jams, little riffs like that. She's just playing and toying around, which is good. She needs to experiment and discover it for herself. But she's getting lessons at school. The school has a music program and she's joined that. Okay, just scuffing that mainly up. The edges I'm not too worried about. They look pretty good, but I just want to get them roughed up a little bit, scratched up a bit and get some of this stuff. Now we've got to coat this guy and give it a coat. Just got to dry that off and let it hang for a little while. And while it does that, we're going to get the acoustic. Tom, you're going to get your wish and we're going to bring out that acoustic and just inspect where we're up to with it and see what else we can, what we need to do next. Because I've got all the hardware for that guy. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to just cover this little blank spot here with a bit of paint. You can see how flat that is now, and you can see the little pits. See those little shiny spots? They're the low spots. So there's still a bit of work to go. We've got to get another coat or two on there at least. I'm going to keep going. I'm not in a rush. I've got a month to get this right. So another week, if I have to, of coats, and I should be ready to cure it and maybe polish it in a couple of weeks. If I get it to her the day before her birthday, that's good enough for me. Now, I'm going to just pop a little bit of colour on there because we've lost a little bit because it was a bit thin there. So let me just touch that up. Just going to dab it on and just colour that in. Right on his little tail. I'll get it right eventually. Okay, that's done. I'm going to hang this up for a minute, let it dry off properly before we get any make sure I've wiped all this down. There's no resin anywhere or marks, which is good. Okay, so there she is. All right, we're getting there. Hang that up for a second. I'll grab that acoustic and see what we can see with that girl, see what she's up to. We'll do a recap, shall we? I need this guy. I've got it notched. That was where we got up to last time. We've got it notched and we can actually fit the top to it. I'll give you guys a look at what we've got. There's the old acoustic. No, there's no chance, Tom. She doesn't watch it. No, she doesn't watch it. She doesn't know this is coming. So this has been sitting in here for a couple of months. It's nice and settled now on the shape. Terry, thank you for the gifted sub to Tom there. That's very kind of you. Had a little bit of a blowout on one side here, but that's okay. I can fix that because we're going to bind this so back and front. A little bit of a blowout on the corner here. There's a gap there that's popped out, but what I'm going to do is test that, and I'm going to put a nice big strip of binding around there, and that'll fix that up. The rest of it's pretty flush. It's pretty good. There's a little bit of overhang there I've got to get rid of. So there's still a bit of work on the edges and that, but that block is in there. We're ready to cut out. Sorry, that's the tail block. There's the head block there. So that's ready to cut out the... that's the head block there. So what I want to do is get the top and have a look at that. See how we go. Where is the top? Interesting. Oh, I've hung it up. Here it is. I did hang it up. I didn't want it to get all bent and broken. So the top, if we recall, is this guy. Bunya pine. There's the back, all braced up. Got that guy all done. It's all ready to go. Bracing's on. get that guy sprung in there and glued down. And then we can box that up and close that guy up. A little bit wider there. It's springing out a little bit. It's very stiff still. So, but once I clamp that down and glue it, she'll be fine. In the, I'm just going to make sure that all the little wooden buddies are all joining in and we flush at the bottom. It's sitting pretty flush. Just got to get, yeah, that's good. Just got to get those sides in there and we're good. Like that. And that's ready to, almost ready. I'll show you the neck for that. The neck for that is, where is that neck? Did I hang that up? I may have, indeed. The neck for that is this guy here. We've got, what is that neck? Queensland maple. Queensland maple with a darker Queensland maple accent heel. You can see the heel is darker, two-piece. Not a scarf joint. That's actually an angle. That's actually cut out angled. Nice volute on that. And it's got a Tasmanian oak, not Tasmanian oak, Tasmanian blackwood laminate on that guy. So it's got a rosewood fretboard and it's got gold, EVA gold or brass frets on that guy. And that's pretty much ready. Right back, Dana. Lisa's in the house and Leslie's in the house and they're all in the house. Good stuff. Let's close the box. We should close the box. Otherwise, if we don't close the box, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Isn't that right? Got to close that box. I have a problem with my jig, so I don't want to close the box today. But I need to do it, but I'm going to try it and see if I can get that box closed up, get that in there and glued down. That's sitting nice and flush, so I should be able to get that glued down. And then we can sort out the edges and get a truss, get a channel cut out for the binding. So let's do that. Let's do that. Now I want to show you the back before I do that, so you can remind you what we're dealing with. This is the back, as discussed. Queensland maple. I'm going to just give you a little bit of a peek to remind you what that looks like. That's that flamed Queensland maple. You can see there's lots of beautiful flame through that. Very sparse, but very different in color variation. Beautiful color there. I love that amber, that golden copper color of that is really, it really pops. You get that coppery. It looks like metal. It's a very metallic finish. Rich is in the house. Rich, what's going on? I'll grab the Duvit's what's it and see if I can maybe get this guy glued up and make B Bumstead a happy chap, because I know he wants to be a happy chappy. So I'm going to have to move this down here a little bit like so. Let's pop this in again and let's see if we can maybe line up this guy. I might just grab my board and sit that. I need a big stable board. Give me a second. I'll just grab that tabletop. Give me a sec, guys. Just clamp that down. Move. Pop that on there. This guy. The other half. Myself some room. All right, there's our friend. This guy in. So I'm going to put a beam in the middle there. Give me a second. I want to elevate that center just a little bit off the deck, so that I can put the edges up nice and high, just over the top of that. Right. Close her up. Nice and tight. Solid. Okay, it's there. We are there in the zone. And that guy fits nicely. I've just got to get this little bit in there, sprung in a bit. And then I'm going to glue that down. That's perfect. That's good. That's good. That's good. Spot on and windy. Are we excited, folks? Right. Now, quickly flick over. Are we going to close this box up or what? Give me a 1 if we're going to close this box up right now. Have I missed anything? Have I missed anything? Let's ask B. Bumstead. B. Bumstead, I have got my pin block, my bracing, my back bracing, perf linings everywhere, tail block, head block. What else do I need? Nothing. Ha! The man decided. Have a quick check. Give me a sanity check, my friend. Mav in the house, what's going on? Cool contraption. Trauma Train Rich, it's just a mold that we use and 2 halves that push and hold the shape while we glue things together. So yes, it holds the shape while we clamp everything down on top of it. This is sitting quite flush, so it's quite good. We should be able to clamp that down and weigh that down and it'll stick. You could always write a hidden inscription on the inside. Nah. I can always put a label on it too and just stick it there. I don't like to write inscriptions inside, especially when no one knows but me will know it's there. There's no point. I get your meaning though. It's a tricky, or it's a nice, cool sort of idea. Just checking all the way around, make sure I've got contact, good contact. Just testing the bracing for the top. What I am going to do is I'm going to invent, well, I'm not going to invent anything. I'm going to make another form that goes over the top and pushes those edges down. But at the moment I just use clamps. It isn't ideal where I've got it here, so I don't really want to join it here. This isn't ideal, this bench. I need to overhang it slightly. That's okay. This table's not ideal. What I also need is a little table that's small enough, about yay big, to sit that so I've got room to get underneath and manipulate things as I need to. But I think we're good. Easter egg kind of thing. We could do that. Let's put an inscription in it. Let's do that. Why don't we do that? Do we do it on the inside cover, on the top, or on the bottom, so where they shine? Actually, you know what would be cool? Writing something here. Writing something just underneath where the strings go, the bridge goes, backwards, so when they read it with a mirror, they put a mirror in there, like a car mirror, a car or a dentist's mirror, they can read the inscription. What do you think of that? Do we write something backwards? I could make a small table on string, Terry, I could. Now we're talking. Terry likes the obscure nature of my... The one thing I haven't done is clean this top up. I need to clean this up before we do anything. I'm going to grab some sandpaper and I'm going to clean this mother up. There's just some lines I want to take off. we did have all these lines where I planned everything, and I need to clean them up. I don't want to leave a mess because someone looks in there with a mirror and sees all this crap, and they go, "This guy never took any pride in his work at all." Terry, is it a good idea to clean up after myself? Should I clean up this mess inside this top? Generally, yes. Thank you. Terry, are you a clean freak? Is that another thing that you aspire to be? I'm just kidding. Better? Get some glue marks off. But live acoustics. That's the one. I do like printed marker labels that you get inside acoustics with serial and model number and even forward those. Yeah, I can stick one on afterwards because I can get my hand in there. I will print something nice. But I think writing something backwards, a little message they can read in a mirror. What do you think? Leslie, we're going to clean up the dust. Relax. We're not gluing anything on until I vacuum and wipe everything down. A gifted sub from Terry W. Bumstead. Geez, Tez, that's very generous of you. Thank you very much. I will get this sandpaper on here and just get rid of some of this glue line and just flatten that out a little bit just to give it a little bit more neatness. Okay. Now, ladies and gents, before we do anything, we're going to think of something to write down in this little area here. Where do you think we should write it? Here? Should it be backwards? Should it read backwards? I need a mirror. Do I have a mirror? As a matter of fact, I do. Where is my mirror? Here's my little internal mirror. So we can go into the guitar and read it. I'm going to grab a piece of paper. We're going to write a message. And we'll see how that turns out, don't you think? Let me grab a board. Let's think of what to write. Dear player, may your strings ring true and your tunes stay in tune. No, we have to think of something to write. Knock, knock. Maybe we can write a knock, knock joke. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to come up with something. So use your time wisely and let's come up with something. Sound's back. Did we lose sound? Okay. I didn't even know. It's almost like the cowbell command was created just to get the mic to work again. Right. I need to write something. What do we write? Do we just write a message of hope and message of regard? I'm going to leave it to you guys to come up with something. May friendship and kindness walk with you all your life. I'm going to do that. Didymus, that is perfect. So we've got to read it from left to right. So from right to left, backwards. May, I'll just write it out normally. May your chords come easily and your ears be filled with sweet music. We're going to write all of this. So what's, may friendship and kindness may friendship and kindness walk with you all your life. Or do it like a little verse. And what I should do it's a shame I don't have time to do this properly and print it out, but that's okay. And then the next verse will be, may your chords come easily and your ears be filled with sweet music. May the chords ring true. I'm just going to embellish a little bit, Leslie. And fill your ears with sweet music. And your ears be filled. And your ears filleth. Your ears be filled. Music. 4 lines. Happy Kangaroo Day. What has Mark said? Cheers, big ears. That's the one. What's going on? Cheers, comma. It has to be for me, right? So, cheers, big ears. May May friendship and kindness walk with you all your life. May the chords ring true and your ears be filled with sweet, sweet music. Cheers, big ears. That's what we're writing. Right, now we've got to find a place to write it, and I've got to write it backwards, which is easy when I can turn this over and just smudge it on there, but I'm not going to do that. Let me think about this. I've got to fit it somewhere. It's probably going to go down here, but I'm going to make sure the block doesn't cover it, so it's going to be written very small, very, very small, and I've got to write it backwards, so this is a bit of a challenge. Question I have is, can I get my hand down there and stick it? Yes, I can. What I will do is I'll put what I will do is I will put the top on and close the box, because I can get my arm in there and stick a nicely reverse printed label with the verse on it right down the back. I think that'll be better. But I'll actually sign the verse with pen. How's that sound? Yeah, I'm not going to do it, Leslie. I'm going to get a computer to do it and flip it. But I will sign it, but I won't sign it backwards. Actually, I should sign it backwards. I will even sign it backwards, scan it, and flip it. A backward signature, is that bad luck? Who knows? Let's get back to this. Center lines are spot on. Everything is okie dokie. It's fantastic. Everything's aligned pretty well. Pretty well, if I do say so myself. We're good there, we're good there. Come in a little bit closer. Just going to make a little adjustment here. Let's flick over to the bench. It's not going anywhere. Just 2 turns tighter. Yeah, that's really tight. It's touching. Whoops. I think we're good to go. Mark, do we close the box up? Let's shall. Now I'm going to see how I'm going to clamp this first, because I haven't clamped it in place. I can go down here. Let's see how I get these clamps on. I need bigger clamps for starters, but I'm going to use these beams. Make some room. Small one, I need a big one. Just going to put a little bit of pressure on there. Not too much, just enough to hold that top down and into place. Let me mock it up first before I actually put glue on there. We mock it up before we glue it down. Got the big clamps. Rage, you crazy man. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. We're just playing with putting a top on an acoustic. Just trying to brace this up, just not keep that nice and flat so it doesn't rise or get bumped up. Well, that's all nice and flat there. Going to get one across the middle. We're good there. There. That flat. Big one. Can't get through now. This is the problem with this side. There's not much room. RC1, Uncle Ted. RC2. What is RC2 called? I've forgotten. What's the name of the second big clamp, Terry? What's RC? What, can you type RC2 in there? Mav, can you not hassle us, please? Save the world. Really? Like everyone else is doing a good job at the moment, are they? Far out, man. Checking that. That's nice and flush everywhere around the edges. It's pretty good. I will put more clamps on there. I'm just getting the main, just checking to see the alignment. And if there's any spring back, there is a little bit here at the top. I'm going to have to just get that nice and flat, keep that right up against. So I'm going to use this nice big flat piece right across there. And that'll get that block, that glue, that block right down. I don't need any lifting off that block. I want real good pressure on that head block there. Butterscotch. Oh, okay. Thank you, Terry. I thought you were serving dessert for a minute. All right. I don't have any big clamps anymore. These clamps aren't going to do the job, are they? All right, here we go. Not quite. Just a little bit small. Let me see if I've got some bigger clamps somewhere. Grab a smaller one of these. Yeah. This covers a lot of area. Very good. Nice, right there like that. Check that in a minute. Let this guy down. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to check. Okay. Come down there. And it's all square. That's all joined. That's all good. That's all good. Okay, I just need 2 clamps in here. I'm going to probably have to use these ones. I don't have enough big clamps. That's my problem. I thought I had another big clamp somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I've got to find it. I know I've got them somewhere. Okay, here's one. A big guy or a longer guy. C4 Mary. I mean C4 Mary. I'm just going to mock it up first. Once I get it mocked up, I'll know what I'm doing. That's done it right there. If I have a look at that. Okay, that's spot on a mundi. Pop this down here. It's just out of reach. This one should fit here. Does it fit here? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to make this work. Don't have enough room. That's all flat. That's all flat. I need to get a beam across here as well to keep that nice and down. Try this guy. Is that longer? That's better. Longer than that. Back to the drawing board. Nothing like a good piece of Australian rosewood fretboard that won't fix the problem. There we go. That's what we want. All right. Strap it up, Nigel. Spot on. Okay, we're good. Get that tension and just check those parameters. Good, that's all flat. I'm going to put one more in the middle because I can. Okay, that's going to work. Need one across the middle here. Okay, that's good. That's good. One in here. Good. That's all good. Just checking the tension. That's all flush. Flush is important. Okay, this back one's loose. Okay, that's going to work. That's what we got to do. So now we take this off, apply the glue, put it all back on, and we're good to go. Just checking that, making sure everything's 100%. It is. Okay, we're happy to go. Guys, are you ready? Let me just catch up. Eric the Banana, what's going on, Eric? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in ages. What is happening? Tell me, are you well? Jokes. Of course there are jokes. We need a joke command, Dana. We need lots of jokes. Joke 1, joke 2, joke 3. I am ready. Okay, mate, you were born ready. I'm going to take these off. We are going to lay this guy out just the way we had it. We're going to put the glue on, sit this guy in, and set this baby. Yeah. What I did do last time, Mark, is when I had a whole bunch of holes that I cut out, I have got a whole bunch of round wooden plugs, about an inch thick, that I'm planning to make some cauls to clamp down the side, around the edges as well. At the moment, I'm using just strapping and major clamps, but I'm going to put some cauls on there eventually. I've got to actually rebuild this whole jig. Because this is the second jig that I've tried, and I'm actually trying out a couple of models and seeing what results I get. This one's better than the previous one. I'm actually getting better alignment, but I need to still refine it and actually put some holes in here, through here, to pass those through and have that called down. So I'm thinking of doing that. Basically, what I want to do is cut an area through here where I can feed those cauls through, and those will clamp from the bottom to the top. They're basically 2 discs and a threaded bar with a couple of wing nuts, and we just help put a couple around each, about an inch apart. You can go all the way around. I've got about 30 of them made somewhere in a box. I have to put them together, but I've actually cut 30, and I've got enough threaded rod. So I'm good to go there. But for now, we're going to stick this guy down. A ratcheting screwdriver. You need a ratcheting screwdriver. A wretched screwdriver. Links don't work here. Send a whisper. You could probably, as a moderator, you could probably allow the link. Terry, feel free to do that if you want to. Let's glue this sucker up. I'm ready. I'm game. Let's go. Let's do it. Just checking this to see if there's any bowing there. Just a little bit, but that'll be fine once we get that guy. nailed down. Okay. Let's go. Let's get the glue on there. I've got to vacuum all this out. Let me get my vacuum. Give it a quick clean. Where is the vacuum? That'll make Leslie happy. Miss Clean Free. Let's clean this guy out. Just a little bit of dust in there. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. Plug it in. That is now clean, Leslie. You could eat off that, seriously. Right. Now we can glue it down. I'm going to test something before I glue it down. I'm going to test my mirror because I may put no, see, that's going to make it difficult. What I might do is put something just there, because you need it to be readable. I'll stick it right there because that way I can just go like that, shine a light, and I can read it off the mirror. So we're going to put our sticker right there with our little poem right there. Not down the back where I said, because it's going to be very difficult to read. Whereas here, I can look directly down at that mirror. I don't have to go too far in, and I can actually read that panel quite easily, even without a torch. So with a torch, you'll be able to read that exactly the way you want to. So let's glue it up, guys and girls. Maui Ling, what's going on? Aloha to you. Terry, thank you for the gifted sub to Sid Sir Didymus, not Sid, Sir Didymus. And thank you for the gifted sub to Leslie, and thank you for the gifted sub to Bumstead, and thank you for the gifted sub to Tom. 4 gifted subs from Terry. You are going to make me send you a bottle of red wine. Don't you worry about that. Good Aussie red wine. I will send you a bottle straight at you. Don't drink it at once. All at once. Okay, let's get some glue on here. Let's do this. Guys, let's do this. Are we going to do it? Let's do it. Glue. Glue, 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 glue. I'm going to pop this down, brush it in, spread it, make sure there's no drips anywhere, and plonk this guy down. Quickly, hurry, hurry, hurry. Brush. Eh. Brushing that evenly, right to the edges, right to the edges. Just making sure there's no blank spots anywhere, just spreading that evenly, letting that glue settle there, and we're good to go. Okay, quickly wipe this. Couple little drips. Okay. Let's go. Get this on. Get it on. Bang a gong. Get it on. Bingo. Gotcha. bars. Down here. Orby! Orby! Let me just get this down, guys, and then I'll say hi. Excuse me for a minute. I'm in a bit of a bind. Got to get this on. How are we doing, guys and girls? Orby, thank you very much for the raid. What's happening, brother? Great to see you. Cat's here. Cat, what's going on? Welcome on in, guys. Give me a sec. I'm just gluing this top down. Little spacer in there, just to tighten that up a little bit slack in this corner. Keep it from wiggling and pushing out. Okay, that's fine. Sort that out in a minute. Let's get these clamps on. We got some squeeze out, that's good. Okay, we're good there. We are very good at the back. Might put one right in the middle. In a second, let's get this centerpiece on. Beautiful. Flush, 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 flush. Yep, everywhere. Just here now is the problem. Okay, we just got to get this guy down right there. Okay. That's good. That's down. Maybe one more across the middle there. And I have some quilted Burdekin plum. There's some quilted Burdekin plum. Is it Burdekin plum? It is indeed. No, Babinga. Babinga. Yeah. Get in there. Through there, fat boy. All right, we're good.
Mom, somebody just followed me.
All right, that's it. We're there. We are there. Checking all the way around. We're flush. There's a little bit of glue squeeze out, which is good. Not too much. There's nothing dripping down anywhere. I've got to get another one down the back here. Just one more down here, and I think we're good. More rosewood. More Australian rosewood. One more up here. Get two more clamps, Terry. Yeah. Of course, I will put one on the ends. Squeeze out, that's what we like. No gaps. There we go. Give that a light little tight squeeze. Make sure everything is firmly positioned. There we go. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Good. Back's loose. Gotta fix the back. Fix the back, Mac. Okay. Base is good. Could put one right down there. One more clamp to make Terry happy. If we can reach, that's going to be tricky. It ain't going to work. Might just put a bit of weight on there. That's good. That's not going anywhere. I'll leave that sit now. Woo! All right. Now I can't move that. What am I going to do now? I'm going to move over here, sneak past, let that sit, switch the camera over, have a drink, and ask the question, be Bumstead, are you happy now? We have the box closed. Oh, thank you very much, Acoustic. Thank you for the follow too, and Orby, thank you very much, Mark. Mark, Greg, thank you very much for the raid. I really appreciate it, brother. Good to have you guys here. Cheers, big ears. We've got to have a drink, mate. We've got to celebrate. Absolutely. I'll show you the bass that I finished yesterday, guys. Just waiting on some strings to arrive, and I'll just get the nut set. Cheers, big ears. He's looking up your old address. Let me grab that bass. It's all about the bass. Alrighty then. So, our bass is this guy here. I'll just turn this camera around because we are right with space at the moment. Okay. So here's our bass body. Camphor laurel cap. Silky oak or lacewood main body. 5-piece laminated neck through. So maple, American maple, Paduke, American maple, Paduke, American maple. It's got Danish oil on there, about 4 coats. Nice satin finish. Black hardware, Mr. Glynn's bass pickups, jazz, P-bass, and this hardtail kick-ass hip shot bridge, bridge with 4 strings. 2 volumes, 1 tone. Got to put a nut in there. That is a river oak, Australian river oak fretboard. It's like rosewood, except you can see the grain is a little bit more prominent and yellower. The grain really pops on that. It's almost really fibrous looking. That guy's just about done. We tested the pickups yesterday, just the tap test, and they're all wired up correctly. It's a nice low sitting bass. You can see everything's pretty flat, so we're going to have a nice low action, and we're going to try and get it as low as we can. It's looking pretty good. That neck is sitting really low, as you can see. That fretboard's right down on that body, so it's going to be a real play up, we hope. All good. Post links. You can post away. Too much metal, Gano. I'm telling you, it's like a RPG. There's more shrapnel in this than an RPG. It is I'm actually keen to listen to this through the rig and see what it sounds like. It should slap pretty well. So we're happy with that. I think that's turned out pretty good. That grain's really popped, and the finish on that oil really suits it. I love the pitted grain on the back there. You can see the finer elements of that. I'll pop it on the bench and give you guys a look from this angle if I can, with all this other crap in the way. But let me flick over. You get a better look at that grain. There's that grain. You can see that little bit of flame. It's got a nice tummy cut there, and we've got that cap, a matching cap on the cavity cover there. Same as the front. The front again being this guy. I've got to put some strap buttons on it. I've ordered those. There's that guy there. What do you think of that? Orby, do you like that? No. If you had a solid body, yes, camphor laurel is a hardwood. I have got a camphor laurel telly. I'll bring that down and show you, Tom. That was that one we adjusted the action on. Let me show you and compare them. I'll be back in a minute. Now this guy here, ladies and gents, is one of my favourite builds, camphor laurel. There's a solid piece. It's a super strat. There's a solid piece of camphor laurel there for you, Tom. It has I'll show you a flamed Queensland maple top on it, or quilted. It has a cedar neck, and it has a fiddleback piece of maple on the fretboard, black dots. It's super strat. There's the front of it. That's Queensland maple cap. I've actually bent that cap. You can see the bend in that cap. So I've glued that down and glued it on. But the problem with this, guys, is we have to take that cap off and replace it, and that's the next project. There are stress fractures all the way through there. Large stress fractures. Something went wrong with that piece of cap, and it split. Now, whether it was the tension on there because of the bend, or it was just a weak spot, it's gone and cracked right across to the pocket and right across the pocket. I have got another piece I'm going to try and put on there. We may have to scrap the cap if need be, and repaint, strip that down and paint the bottom, paint the front, or do something with the front. Not paint it, but clean it up, sand it back, and just leave it as that. And that's bunya pine capping on there. That's that guy there. Let me put my glasses on so I can read. Cedar neck, absolutely. Red cedar neck, quarter sawn western red cedar. There it is there, my friend. Solid as a rock. I've made a couple of cedar necks and they play really, really well. They're beautiful, and it's as straight as a die. There's no movement on that at all. It's a great neck, and it looks great with that quilt. That neck there. You would like that, Orby. I think you would like that neck. Huh. Yeah, Dana, it happens. You know, I mean, this was my first foray into playing with camphor laurel and wanting to see what kind of bodies I can cut out of it. Solid bodies. It's not that heavy. It's a nice medium weight, so you've got a lot of. What did I just drop there? Checking to see if a clamp didn't fall off. No, that's good. I must have dropped something, but I don't know what. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that guy there, it does happen. You can see the cracks. See that big crack right there? Boom, right in there. Just a weak point and a stress fracture. This is almost like, this is like a burl. It's not quite a burl, but it's similar to a burl. So you're going to have a lot of problems with stability. And I've learned my lesson not to use that as a cap. So unless I use it as a feature rather than use it as a cap. I'm sure that the bend may have something to do with that, potentially. Now the bend is, I did cut the elbow shelf there away, and then I steam bent that down and glued it down. But it may have put additional forces through there. I'm not sure. They weren't there originally. They developed over time. Also drying. If this piece wasn't completely dry for some reason, quick drying will cause cracking as well. So what am I dropping? Is that a new command, Terry? Yeah, that crack goes all the way down, right down to there. So that's going to be, I'm going to chisel that off. I'm going to break that off. I'm going to hit that with a little bit of, I used hide glue, so I'm going to steam that guy. I'm going to strip this guy down. We're going to steam this, and we're going to basically lift that top off and sand it all back until we're flush to the body again. I'll probably leave the body as is. I think if we just have the body like that, it'll work. Now the problem there being, it's going to make the body about almost a quarter, about four millimeters thinner. So it brings that neck up a little bit higher, but then again, and this bridge is all the way down. So we're going to have to do something. I may have to deepen. I don't want to deepen the pockets. I may have to shim it or something. We're going to have to work it out. But it's okay. It'll turn out good. Now, I have got another cap. I'm not willing to ruin it on this one. I think these caps are best for flat tops because I suspect some tension through here with that bend, which was successful, by the way. That bend was awesome. But it may have pulled something back here and it's cracked right through that middle line, right across that pickup. These are Mr. Glynns. I think these are Bellbirds, and that is a hot Cloud 9 in the breed. Otherwise, and it's trim. The back, of course, you see the back, you can see the beautiful colors of that. So that is the same on the front. I think it look quite outstanding if we leave it like that. What do you guys think? Let's catch up with the chat, see what the chat thinks. What's going on? Have we lost sound? No, we're there. We're good. Whew. Or duct tape. Mario, I think we should just use resin. And resin, and we should be fine. Ha! Anyway, I think it'll work. I think we can work with it. We probably can do something with this guy. I'm just reading the chat, guys, and just catching up. Acoustic, you're posting on a major YouTube Discord as we speak. Well, that's fantastic. Huh. Thank you. What am I dropping? Exactly. Is there a hollow or solid body? Rage, this is a solid body. It's solid. It's just, there you can see it, that cap is not, there's no chamber there at all. Because I shaved that away. If there was a chamber in there, there wouldn't be much, I mean, oh yeah, I could have chambered it right down to there, but there's nothing to glue that onto then. It may have worked in my favor. I'm not sure. I'm not willing to ruin another expensive top like that to find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand that all back. And I'm sure, Rage, that you'd be happy with something like that. Is that sexy enough? Sound is better now. Yeah, different microphone probably, Lise, but thank you. Duct tape and the Handyman's is the man. It is duct tape and super glue and acrylic. That stuff, resin, acrylic resin, all that stuff does that. Yeah, the Ninja throwing. Look, I've got star knives up my sleeves, and I won't tell you what I've got in the back pocket. Easy. So yeah, I reckon we do that. Rage, I reckon we sand this guy back and recreate this monster. And I think if we do, it'll be worth it. Because I did this last year, and I was going to let it settle and see what it turned out. When I noticed those cracks, I thought, well, I can't sell it as is. I've got to do something with it. So, and I can't play it as is either. It's not a great look, and that's only going to get worse, you know. So, what I want to do is clean it up and make it pristine if I can. WD-40 is awesome. Never on your fishing reels though, Dana. It will rust the crap out of them. Take it from me. No, I've never used WD-40 on fishing reels or anything like that because it will corrode the hell out of them. Anyway, it's all good. We're there. So what have we done today? We've got that guy all glued up. That cap's on. Tomorrow we'll take that out and we'll have a look at it and see how what we can do about cutting some channels for some binding. I might even make some nice, beautiful binding. It is a light coloured top. I'd like to get a chocolatey coloured. I've got a beautiful piece of what have I got? I've got Paduke. I can use Paduke for a nice binding because that bends really well. I'm thinking I could do that. Just nice thin, sort of 1/8 of an inch strips, and just get them in there and create some nice. You noted. Ha! Absolutely. It's very corrosive. I have got about 3 guitars. That I need to adjust actions on and do some maintenance work, do some, not refretting as such, but just some fret work, clean them up, repolish them, that sort of thing, we might be doing some maintenance in the next couple of days. I am out of body parts at the moment. I haven't been able to get some in the last couple of weeks for various reasons, but I've got enough guitars to keep me going for about a month of maintenance and other little bits and pieces. We might even try spinning some wooden volume knobs with a piece of camphor laurel, similar to that. I've got blocks of it, and we can put a spindle on it and try and turn some on the lathe with the Shinto. And we've got a lot of other little things that we're going to try and fill our time with. Of course, I have to finish that guy, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go back to putting another coat of stuff on that Telecaster. So I'll show you my goddaughter's Telecaster that I'm making for her birthday. Trying to squeeze through here. This guy here. So that's polyurethane. I've sanded that. It's pretty flat, but there's still some little tiny shiny spots. So there's still a little bit of work to go. A couple of coats to go, I'd say. The back's the same. Very, very getting flatter, but just some little residual spots there. It will shine beautifully once we get there. Let's bring that up closer. Ooh, squeezing through. Stuff is always good. Nobody but Tom. Tom, bring your shovel. I have work for you. Make a table. Terry, we might do that. I've got a lot of timber. I might take out some rose. I've got a whole bunch of fretboards. I've got a lot of solid timber, big blocks of cedar as well. I might make a nice bench. We could do a bench for a week and make a nice big workbench. That would be nice. Something that could accompany this big old workbench, maybe extend it a little bit. Bring it out, say, another foot or two, or not 2 feet, that's too much, but maybe 18 inches or so, and bring it across another yard, just to give us a little bit more table space. That sounds like it might be the deal. I've got some beautiful old hardwood, ironwood that's used for like sleepers, railway sleepers, really hard stuff. God knows I'm going to cut it, but we'll see. Anyway, I've got to get some colour on this. Now, I have a problem. I don't really have a problem. I'm going to use my little vise over here to clamp this guy down and work on it. Let me grab some clamps. Because, of course, this guy is taking up all the room at the moment. So I'm going to move over this side. Let me just move this camera across while I've got you. Set him up. Set him up. Come on, baby. There we go. Let's see what that does. There we go. We can see, sort of. Let me move this across. Let me get through here. Okay. I'll probably hang it up higher. Can you see there? Oh, we can actually see there. I'm going to clamp that down. Grab another clamp. Okay, I can work with that. And I'm going to apply a coat there. Let me move this camera up higher. Can't really see that. Hang on, what about here? There we go. Now we're cooking. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, let's see if we can get some colour on there. Some oil, I should say. Polyurethane, not oil. What am I talking about? I don't even know what words I'm using anymore. Poly, wipe on poly. We're going to put a thin coat on that. Where is that pink gossamer thingamy-bob. I don't like using cotton because it leaves a lot of thread behind, and these are the final coats. Final couple of coats. How does that look? Oh, yeah, that's looking all right. More clamps, Terry, more clamps. Absolutely. Let me grab some more material. Sliding through. Sucking that gut in. All right, let's cut this up. Get my little swab. Let me grab a glove. Squeeze through. Doobie whacker. Lots of doobie whackers. Absolutely. We're all about the doobie whackers. What does it mean, Terry? What does it mean? What's the definition of a doobie whacker? It is any of the number of things whose name cannot be immediately recalled. For example, I hate cutting doobie whackers, especially when they split the wrong way. The sacrifice of an old shirt. I've got a bag of them. Texas. It's probably more useful to me now than it ever was when I was wearing it. Let me just say that. Let me put you straight. All right. Let's go, fellows and ladies. Give this a little shake. Just a little stir. A little bit in this cup. Right. And I just generally sprinkle it on and wipe it through and let it settle. That's why I like the flat surface with my hand. If I was spraying this, I'd be spraying that outside and I'd be rotating this handle as I go and just letting that even out. Just moving it, it'll dry a lot quicker out in the air, and that, but it'll also pick up a lot of bugs and little debris and dust in the air. So in here, I let it flat, and I basically let it settle after I wipe it in, and it does end up being okay. Just work that in. Once that levels out, get the edges done. So just wipe that down, let that settle. Pick up any dust if I see any. Doesn't matter, we scuff them off with the next coat. These coats are a little thicker, but you've got to work them in early while the doobie whacker is still runny. Get enough in there to make a mess. Make sure there's no drips though. So spread that quickly. Get those edges, and then just run that over very lightly. And pull away any residue, any large amount. Don't play with it too much. Once is enough. Just get over it, get it lined up, drag it through, even it out, no bubbles. We'll blow over the top, settles that down. That's going to settle in a minute. While we're doing that, we're going to hit the edges with a light coat. Just a very light coat. one run, one pass, one complete pass without patching it up. Okay, that's done. Okay, you can see that's going to let that sit for a bit before I flip that over. So there it is. Let's let that settle down. Okay. How do you think? You like that? Nice. I have to say, I was wondering what purple was. Yes, blue and purple. That's the one. It's gone a bit purpley because of the. There's still a bit of blue in there, but it's mainly purplish because of that that amber. But it looks great. I love that look. I think it looks fantastic, and the edges are nice. The edges are cool. No runs. Just check those edges. It's all consistent and uniform. There's a spot I missed. Getting the cutaway, make sure we got that nicely covered. Okay, that looks pretty good. You can see the edges are pretty good too. And we're going to turn that over now and do the back and then hang it up once it settles. Give that another minute. It's pretty glassy when you look down. It's pretty good. There's a lot of reflection there. So I think we're doing okay. We're doing real good. Oops. I just bumped a little bit. Just wipe that. There we go. Fix that up. Okay, let's turn this over. Okay. Spread that out. Those edges. Just feather that. Perfect. That's really good. There's a couple of streaky spots here. Okay, we're good. In the bin. Pour the rest of that back in to the can. Close that can up. Close it up. Okay. This guy off. We're starting to get this guy down to his. This needs about 2 or 3 more coats. The top needs about 1 or 2 more coats. We're almost there. Almost at the business end. There's a bit of a drip there. I just noticed. Let me wipe that off. I'm going to have to end up fixing that up now. All right, hang it up. There it is. All hanging up and shining away, being a little shiny thing drying off. Keep that going. I'll just squeeze through here. Boom! There goes the door. Right, let's catch up with the chat. Maybe you paint that colour. It is beautiful. Lynn, it's a very patent. So it's basically a sapphire blue dye, and I add Feast Watson Wipe On Poly, which has an amber in it. And once you get to about the 3rd or 4th layer of amber, the amber mixes with the blue to give you that purple. Like red and blue get you purple, right? So that amber turns reddish. Every coat makes it a little bit deeper. I wish I could get poly that was completely clear. I think 2K poly is pretty clear, but that's dangerous stuff, and you've got to spray it in a proper booth and get it done properly. But for wipe-on stuff, it's that color is beautiful, and I plan to maybe experiment with the level of blue and add some black to it next time and really darken it right up and see what that does. I'm going to try a couple with that stain. I think it's worthwhile experimenting with that color range and see how we can modify that. Is that the oil you're using? This is the oil I'm using here, my friend. Feast Watson Wipe On Poly. It's a good product. It works really well. They make really good stains and really good polys and oils, decking oils, furniture oils, interior mainly, but there are some exterior applications as well. It's a good product. Feast Watson. Feast as in what Rage does every night with at the dinner table. He feasts. And Watson as in Sherlock's mate. Not black. No, not black. What do you think, Terry? How do we get that bluer? I think, Terry, your homework, not that you haven't got enough to do anyway, but when you get a spare chance in the next month, which is probably never, I would like you to use your color expertise and your artistic knowledge to see how we can get, I know how we make purple, but how we unpurple something back towards blue. How do we get the red out? Do we just add more blue? I guess we do. We could just add more blue, I'd say. Hard experimenting with adding blue in between layers of poly, though. I don't know how that's going to come up. Yeah, I'd say we add more blue to dilute the amber, but you're right. You're right, Texas. I might look at that anyway because I'm pretty sure Terry's got enough. Dana is the colorist. Terry's just the painter, the artist. Terry's just the artist, the imagery expert. Dana's the one with all the colors. Dana, it's on you. Adding blue or cyan. I'm pretty sure we just add more blue, Rage, because you're just going to negate the volume. There was still oil in there. Sedidimus, boom, 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 crash, tish. That was awesome. Okay. I'm going to see who's on. Come on, you. Who is on? Who is on? Peter Northcote's on. I'm going to go to Peter Northcote. If you want to hear a really cool guitarist based here in Sydney, he's getting one of my strats to try out very shortly. And I'm going to... no worries, Tom. You are welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Where is the cursor gone? Terry, I can't see the cursor. What have I done with it? Ah! There it is. Have I made my screen small? I have, haven't I? What a doofus. There we go. Not the cursor, you silly. I put the cursor away. I think it's one word. Try that, if I spelt it correctly. Nope. Peter. No. Oh, I left out the H. Raid. Peter. Please work. There we go. It's been made. Okay, guys and girls, if you want to hang around, listen to some pretty cool guitar tunes, Peter's your man. I'm going to head off. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. So be here or be square. All right. Catch us later on. See you later.